Remember Tam was trying to bust through the door and try to get everybody got, bitch? And then at the end, I guess, it always be the nons who's always ready to flip. Always ready to flip, because at the end of the day, their allegiance is flimsy because they know they're a hierarchy, and even if they're at the bottom, they're not on the basement level because they're not African. And they can always switch sides because they're not African. If they know nothing else about the system is that they're not African. The current way the system is structured will always be like a bouncing beam, like a trampoline. People will always use us, whether it's our death or oppression, our hardships, or even our culture when they do the wigger thing. Hey y'all, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Baby girl.
Not really that long, like kind of a force, but kind of also honest. That I have in real time and space did a recording and uploaded it to my BlackWomanVibes YouTube channel. And I'm stopping by to be like, hey girl, hey. But also because I just watched the movie Sinners. Now, I've heard a lot about the movie, and not necessarily because I was searching for it, but because it's a popular movie. I mean, like, it has gross like over, I forgot what the actual numbers are, but I know it's over 50 million in the box offices. A lot of people are raving about it. It has exceeded, not even for a black movie, but a movie in general, the estimation and the projection of how much the movie would be able to bank in its opening week. And it has exceeded the expectations. And because it's a movie that's complex, it's taking us back to Reconstruction Americana. It's taking us back to a point in time in history that is plagued with strife and anti-Blackness and violence and all of the things, right? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Now, I want to go into more so what I took from the movie that really hit and resonated, more than a movie recap, because I want to do it justice. Now, it is hella long. It's like 2 hours. But the way that the momentum is and just like the speed of the movie, it doesn't feel long because it's engaging, at least to me, because I can keep up. But if you are no shade, but the TikTok generation that can consume in bite sizes, you might get tiresome because it is a lot of sitting and it is a lot of like concentration on what is going on. But overall, I think the plot, the script, the acting was great. What I will say, which was not so great, was, and I gotta sit with my chest. I know we as black people are authentically black, so I can go into any black space and fit right in, regardless if this is my ethnic grouping. For example, I am Haitian American. I can go with the Jamaicans and be cool. I can go with the Nigerians and be cool. I can be with the Black Americans and be cool. Why? Because I'm black. But just because you black don't mean you can just kind of like jump, hop, skip, blend right in with any and everything. And one of the things that we did was not blending, harsh lines. It was not blending, was the accent that Michael B. Jordan was rocking. I was just like, what is going on here? Because like I know my Southern people got a Southern drawl. I know they got that accent. I'm thicker than my accent, and niggas love that shit. I know. But I know also real Mississippians, and they don't speak like that. Like the accents were throwing me off because there was too many Southern accents for the shit to even make sense. And then that fake ass accent that Michael B. Jordan was rocking, I was just like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. It's heavy. It's random. It has a weird drawl. It's not Southern, and it makes it hard to understand. Like, oh my God. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, damn, bitch, I need me a closed caption. And I hate watching foreign films because of that. Because if I gotta read and watch at the same time, bitch, why not I just rather fucking read a book? At this point, why not? Like, I don't want to do both. I want to do either or. And I felt like with the heavy ass bootleg Southern accent, it was not giving what it needed to give. So, like, please, black people, respect the culture. Let's be authentic with it. Y'all should have grabbed Lil Murder and them from P Valley to be your speech coach, your accents coach. Like, y'all should have done better with that. Like, I'm so sorry, not really. Y'all should have done better with that. That really is the heavy downside, because what made up for it though was the acting. Now, I was impressed. I was impressed that B. Jordan. Why do I feel like I keep on tripping on your name, nigga? I feel like Michael B. Jordan. I feel like Michael B. Jordan was really good at playing two of himself. Like, it was like me versus me. And I really like how it flowed. It didn't feel choppy. It didn't feel forced. It felt like two different characters in the same room engaging fluidly. And that's not something any actor can do. That takes real talent. Now, I may talk shit about your weak ass chin that goatee covered. But I can't knock you for your act. Now, the accent was crazy. It was trash. But I can't knock you for your actual acting, because I was like, damn, nigga. I felt like there was two different niggas on the same screen. And then when you were I'm spoilers, ho, spoilers in this bitch. Anyways, when you was smoking the cigarette and you passed it to yourself, I was like, and the way that you both like showed different character, it's just the small things. It really is the behavior patterns. It wasn't just smoking, passing it along, like puff puff pass. No, it was just the way that the one character flicked the cigarette, the way the one other character like swooshed it on the side of their mouth. Like, it gave you two different niggas on screen, but plot twist, it's one nigga. Okay. So I thought that was phenomenal. On another side note, that doesn't have to do with the movie, but the gay in me and like the fashion girly in me, like, oh, I really, 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 the Libra rising in me. Okay, I really, really loved the, I really loved the suit, the outfit, the costume, like, whoever job it was, hair and makeup, to be honest. Like, whoever wardrobe was on, like, spot on wardrobe. I hope they gave you a bonus check because you did the thing. Like, for me, side note, queer as ever, asexual as ever, but the small little attraction that I feel on a sometimes I love me a well built man. And not in a way of like I want to jump his bones, but in a way of like it just looks nice to look at. Just like good art. Okay? I love me. The way the suit was tailored. Ooh, and like the literal like decorations and like adornments, and the way that like the little tailored like the way I noticed that. The suspenders, I noticed that. I was just like, And then, and then, he works out the muscles, and then everything was just doing what it needed to do. Okay, especially in the fighting scene when they was in the bar and the arms was arming, the biceps were biceping. I was like, but still, the asexual in me was like, all right, move on. But taking it back a little bit more, like everybody else, I really enjoyed the relationship between. I'm be honest with you, I don't remember who is who. One is Lucky, and the other nigga Smoke. I believe Lucky and Smoke. What are the niggas? All right, Lucky Smoke, cigarette pack. I don't know. Marlboro Reds. I don't know. But the one who was linked up with Hottie Little Mommy from Lovecraft. First of all, I'm happy that I seen her in something other than Lovecraft, and that's not to knock Lovecraft, because I really did enjoy it. Like, when I was in my podcast bag before your hoe ass sons took over and ruined podcasting for us all, I remember I had a podcast episode, and in the editing phase of this recording, I'm going to show you a picture of the cover of the podcast, and then like links and all that jazz. Actually listen to it if you're interested. Black Woman Vibes, just like the YouTube channel, but on obviously podcast streaming platforms. Black Woman Vibes, woman as in singular. And the episode itself is season 3, episode 2, where I was discussing Hippolyta, the show Lovecraft Country, women's agency, and why it's important for women to see that, believe in that, and create the universe that they so choose. So check it out. Links in the description per usual. Based off of Lovecraft Country. Ugh, tongue twister, a little bit. And there was an episode of like the mother was like an explorer and that was her thing. If you know Lovecraft Country, like this is just a quick little back into nostalgia real quick, like put in the hearts with nostalgia real quick flashback, and then we're gonna go right back into Sinners, right? So there was an episode where they were talking about like their discoverers and like their love and passion for science and astronomy. And you know I'm a witchy bitch. You know I'm an astrology bitch. You know I'm a tarot bitch. So a zodiac bitch. You already know I'm ruled by Venus. It's Taurus season. You already know, ho. But to show my green ass out. So they were talking about like how Black people transcend time and space. And I really felt that to like the soul of me. And I made a podcast episode of that. And my point in bringing that shit up, because honestly, I would have to listen to the podcast episode to really remember what it's talking about, but I remember her and I love her for sure. So I'm putting it into this episode. But the point is, I wanted to see her in other things, especially since my show didn't get picked up for season 2, which I thought it was fucking trash. Every time a Negro gets something worth a damn of watching, these fucking cracker bastards take it away from us. They took away from us motherfucking Underground. They took away from us Lovecraft Country. God damn it. And I don't know if we're going to get a part 2 to Sinners. And honestly, the way they wrapped it up real quick at the end, with a boat and a cherry on top, I don't really care for a part 2. Now, when everybody got slain, I was like, oh my God, nigga, you the only one. You the final girl. You the final one. I was like, damn, nigga, like, we're going to need a part 2 to see how you going to re-up to get the... But when, the end tied up the way it ended, I was kind of like, well, c'est la vie, And then it took us back to step 1, no Brian McKnight. But the point is, back to Sinners, it was nice seeing her in other things because, like, when I like a character, which is different from the actor, but bitch, I don't give a fuck. Urkel's always gonna be Urkel. I don't give a fuck what that nigga say. So when I like a character, I want to see you in other things because, girl, I'm proud of you, So I was pleased to see her in all her bosoms and all her talentedness in the movie Sinners, especially in, I think it was the first episode or one of the early episodes, we saw a baby girl sing. She actually has vocals. Now, since we talk about Lovecraft Country, bitch, why was you, Ruby? I remember now, Ruby. Why was you fucking on that white... Okay, we're not even gonna go there. We're not even gonna go there, Ruby, because why was you fucking on... Okay. And he turned into a white woman. Like, what's going on? Okay, focus. Back into Sinners. So it was nice seeing her and other things, right? And I don't know how this shit is going to turn out. I don't even know if people going to listen to this. So where my brain is all over the damn place. I love seeing that, right? I think the points that really stood out to me that I really, really enjoyed was like, yes, shit was horrible. Like, it's the South. Crackers is being crackers with their full chest out. But what I really, 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 really enjoyed seeing was the humanity of Black people. And it really is the simple things. Like, yeah, we know slavery was horrible. Yeah, we knew sharecropping was horrible. Yeah, we knew these crackers was evil and menacing and violent and all the things, anti-Black, all the things, but all the things. We know that. We see the lynching pictures. We know that. But damn, I want to see my enslaved Africans still live their life. How do you find joy on a plantation? How do you structure family? How do you create social bonds and ties? Like, I felt like a little something in my heart when they were out in the field picking cotton. And it was just like talking, regular Black people just talking. It just wasn't in the kitchen table. It was out in the fields, but it was just like, good morning, Margaret, how are you? Yeah, they were just like, well, I heard on a grapevine as they were enforced to do what they were doing. But there was still humanity in that. Like, I get it. Niggas was whipped. But goddamn, what else? Is there anything else? And I appreciate the slight glimpse of something else even in the thick of oppression. Because niggas is human. Nous c'est noir. Nous c'est human. And I appreciated that slight glimpse of like normality in such a fucking immoral and unjust and oppressive and exploited and like irregular situation, right? What else I enjoyed? I enjoyed seeing the truth of America in the sense of like, when we are in school and we're talking about America and all its anti-Blackness, we're told white, black, sometimes a sprinkle of Native American out there, genocided, Trails of Tears out there in the woods somewhere. But we don't really see like, oh, there was these type of white folks who were here. Not just this blanketed terms of whites. Back then, them whites loved to stand on their home team, home base. It wasn't this blanketed term of white. It was German. It was Irish. It was Protestant. It was Catholic. They was repping they gang horde, okay? Before the Christian Bloods was even a thought. So I appreciated them saying like, oh, and there was also Chinese. They was here too. And it's interesting because in the film and in real life, 2 points I'm going to make. Chinese folks in the film played the model minority role because they were the buffer class between black folks who were oppressed and formerly enslaved and white folks who had the money, had the property, had the wealth, had the voting power. And they were able to exist being the buffer class that served the Negroes, the dirty, dirty Negroes that we literally just enslaved and just released from enslavement. But like plot twists, chain gangs, and all these Jim Crow laws that funnel you back into enslavement. But like, yes, it's the Negroes. And the pure lily white dove crackers. So it was interesting seeing that the Chinese store owners had jarring is the word, had two stores who probably sold the same stuff, same products, but one served whites and one served blacks. And they literally can see each other because they're right across the street. But in that wayward Christendom, racist, oppressive, hierarchical, me and them, us versus them othering, it totally made sense in their cracker brain that they needed two stores right across each other that sold the same shit. Is this a liquor store? Is this a church? Is this a motherfucking Dunkin' Donuts? Because those are the only motherfuckers I know who are on literally every single block, and that's just what that is. So it was jarring to see that. But it also, pulling it back to today, isn't that what a lot of them do? Like, did we not just see Asians go hard in the paint to turn over affirmative actions, and now they're crying about how they're not getting admissions? They were saying that affirmative action was keeping them from enrolling and being accepted to the Ivy League institutions as if they automatically deserve an Ivy League enrollment because they got straight A's. You and all the other nerds, get in line, nerd. You're not special because you read the course, you did the work, so did everybody else. You just have a better GPA. And the gag is all them other herbs do too. Them herbs, Dungeons and Dragons herbs, them book smart herbs, the motherfuckers who can recite shit like they got photographic memory herbs, the cheating herbs, the rich fat kid who didn't study for shit but will always get A's because daddy and mommy knows everybody who can tell them, yes, it's an A. So like, you and everybody else, sweetheart. You and everybody else. Not me, because I'm going to be honest with you. Them A's was sparse. Okay? Like crackers humanity. Sparse. So, I already knew I wasn't applying, bitch. But the fact that because they felt entitled to these seats, they went against affirmative action and plot twist, fast forward to today, they ain't getting admitted anyhow. So it's interesting how the more things change, they stay the same. Stabbing black folks, other people of color in the back thinking that you're going to get a step ahead, but do you really? Because when them crackers was outside, they ate Chain's ass up. They ate Chain's ass up. Ate his ass up like it was lo mein in this hole. Like, straight up. Ate his ass up like it was Korean fried chicken hoe. Korean. Barbecue wings. With that Swiss sauce on the side. Like, no problem. And crispy, because you know I love them crispy. Like, no problem. No hesitation. Gobbled them up. Like fresh sushi. Straight out the motherfucking Pacific Sea hole. No problem. Just like, swiper, no swiping. Swipe that affirmative action and swipe your ass the fuck up out of those Ivy League seats. No problem. While they're still fetishizing Asian women and ladyboys. But you still have lesser rights. So I found that very interesting and jarring. I also felt like it was hella cap on who the real racists were. Because granted, these hillbilly, racist, toothless, we'll probably vote for Trump a fourth time, bitch. Don't let this little hiccup fool you. These hoes, if they could, would vote for him another 4 motherfucking times. These hoes ain't shit. Okay? Between the black lungs and between the meth in they motherfucking heads and they racism, they fucking cooked, bitch. They fucking cooked. Okay. But it's not just them. Because those hillbilly crackers ain't got money to own no goddamn land. Them hillbilly crackers probably don't even got the right paperwork to vote. Them hillbilly crackers ain't the one making niggas sharecroppers on plantations that they mammy was subjugated to. So I feel like there was hella cat in discussing the narrative because the most elite cracker in the film was a sheriff. And truth be told, in that era, wouldn't it be former plantation owners? You know, the ones who hire the sheriff? Because we all know the police is the arm of the state. We know the police work on the behalf of the elite, of the wealthy, of the rich. So the math's not mathing. The math's not mathing. So I feel like there should have been more context. There wasn't a lot of discussion about class. Now, we're going to talk about the high yellow heifer, but we really didn't get into class. So I feel like that was hella cab. Y'all missed the opportunity to talk about class. But if we talked about class for real, you black excellence going to look like charlatans. If we really get into class for real, you black excellence going to be looking like ops like Diddy. If we really get into this black excellence for real, we're going to have to hit you with that silver bullet too. We're going to have to throw that vinegar on you too. We're going to have to make you eat that clove too. But you're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. But you need to prepare for that. But since we talked about the high yellow heifer, I'm not impressed in the least bit by the high yellow heifer. In fact, when she was the first one who turned op, I was not surprised. Why wasn't I surprised? I wasn't surprised because she's fucking a mulat. She's biracial. If you know the history of the Haitian Revolution, Henry Christophe, or Christophe Henry, however the nigga name go, you already know. I'm just saying from historical context, them biracials be ops. Like Drake, I don't know what else. Like Doja, like I don't know. Like Logic, like I don't know. Like I don't. I plead a fifth, Your Honor. Not all of them. Not all of them, because we love us some Mariah. She on fire like the Aries queen that she is. But there are far few in between. And they ain't all fine like Tracy Ellis Ross with her bug eye. But I still think she a cutie baddie. And she could do whatever the fuck she want. If she wants herself a young tenderoni like shit, she could do that shit. Because her mammy is Diana Ross and she that bitch. Period. But back to sinners. I didn't trust that mulat at all. I didn't trust that mulat. First of all, why you ain't got no motherfucking nigga naps? See, I couldn't trust you because the only biracials I could trust for real, so got they naps. He ain't got no motherfucking kinks. So yeah, you close enough to the black experience, but safe enough to not feel the heat. That's why when that nigga went to Chicago, and he was probably fucking them bitches. He probably was fucking them bitches right next to Malcolm. He probably met Malcolm on the way to fucking them bitches. He probably was. Because he was a hustler in a city slicker, fast city slicker in Yankee ass Chicago. He was in these streets. He was. I was not there, but I swear he was. He was. No, deadass. He probably got syphilis by. You should have used the rubber like deadass. But that's neither here nor there. You know who should have really used the rubber? Ruby. How you let that nigga? Wow. Okay. Back. And see, we back. We pulled out. Unlike that nigga, we pulled out. And now we back to the original topic, to the original scene. But I didn't trust her. And after the niggas inside was like, should we let them in? Should we let them in? And then it was like, no, we are niggas in the deep south and it's pitch black outside. Fuck we look like. And I said, niggas. Exactly. Don't be a goofy nigga. Don't be. I swear to. If them niggas would have let them crackers in, I swear to God, I would have came there and killed all of y'all myself. I swear to God, I would have zapped my ass into the motherfucking movie. Like my ass is motherfucking Jimmy Neutron. Not Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner. If you understand the reference, you understand the reference. My Nickelodeon babies, you understand the reference. I would have zapped my ass into the motherfucking movie, and I swear to God, I would have killed all you dumb niggas myself. I swear to God. I swear to God. Like, y'all literally see lynchings every single day, and you would have let these crackers in because they played the motherfucking banjo? Because they motherfucking did the bluegrass? Because they played the motherfucking... But my niggas, my motherfucking niggas, they said no. Because we is black, they is white, we ain't crackers, southern, state, behind the Mason-Dixie line, but we can see the motherfucking Delta. We know better. We know better. Because crackers don't like no motherfucking niggas. And they slammed the door. But it was that mulat who said, that's the heartbeat. Boy, icebox where my heart used to be. I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold. You hear that? I'm doing the Omarion chest dance. I'm doing the whole thing right now. Her ass felt some type of fucking affection for them crackers. Them niggas said, my lived black ass, nappy headed ass existence tells me no. My naps that stand up, that are antennas to speak to the ancestors said, no, nigga, no. I know your stupid ass got that conch in your head, but you still a motherfucking nigga. Slam the door. But it was her ass who said, reminds me of my great-grandpappy. Reminds me of my cousins. Reminds me of my aunt. Reminds me of me. And she took her cracker ass outside. And because of her ass, all them real niggas, take it how you want to take it, they not like us. The real niggas was in jeopardy because the mulat had some heart for them crackers. Put a motherfucking pin in that hole. Put a motherfucking pin in that hole. Now, the witchy bitch that I am, the Haitian bitch that I am, the artist that I am, and the music girly that I am, everything they talk about in regards to music and art about black people is absolutely correct. Absolutely 100% correct. I love the depiction of it on screen, like black music and culture. And yes, black Americans, shut the fuck up, but yes, stand the fuck up. Stand the fuck up. Yes, it is you. Spotlight on you. Main character you. Flowers being thrown on the stage. Flowers being thrown on the stage. I loved seeing that. Okay? I loved seeing black culture. Black American, let me put some respect on that name. Black American culture through the years, the decades, the flavor, the style, the outfits. I loved it. I felt like I was immersed. I felt like I was there. I felt like I wanted to do, like I was being mounted. Like I felt like the spirits were in me. And I loved the artistry, the beauty, the tenderness, but like the rhythm, the collage of it all, bitch. The collage of it all. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It was so black ass. It was black ass. Dance my makeup off. Love you. Thank you. Damn. Proud of you. Woo! And another thing, in that juke bar, in that jukebox, in that juke joint, why ain't see no gay niggas? Now I get it. It's the South. And I get it. Bible thumping. And I get it. Homophobia. But I know you niggas lying. Where my little murders at? Where's my motherfucking Uncle Clifford at? Where my baddie beast at? Where my trans girls at? Where's the asexual throwing ass but not throwing cat? Because I know that motherfucker is a cat. I know some nigga heard,
I beg your pardon.
LGBTQ, that's okay.
I
And
beg
my
your
niggas,
pardon.
my tapped in, locked in, clocked in, heard that and said, yep, cap. So let's be clear. When it comes to the gays, they clear. When it comes to the queer, they clear. The fashion, the artistry,
The music, 10th across the board, ho. Don't be playing in our motherfucking face.
And even incorporating the Chinese ancestors, because Yang and Tam was in the motherfucking slaughterhouse. So yes, you gotta represent. And I love seeing that too, shit too. So I thought that was just chef's kiss. I need more of that in my black films, bitch. Okay? I need more context. I need more humanity. But I need more, like I said, the witchy bitch that I am. I need my ancestors and some shit. Because that's when you hoes get your mind together. When you realize that we are not that far removed from our ancestors talking about, I am my, not even I am my ancestors. What y'all said? I am not my ancestors. That's what you hoes said. You hoes said, I am not my ancestors. Bitch, I am Harriet Tubman's wildest dream. Not because I'm full of myself, but because I carry on the sacrifices, the struggles, her wins, and then for the next. Because it's like a relay race hoe. Until we literally have our liberation and these crackers ain't fucking exploiting us, we is not free. Therefore, we're continuously on our pursuit of liberation. So we continuously have to continue passing the baton like it's a relay race hoe until we get our liberation for real hope. For real hope. And that's really what that is. So I want to say, I don't know how much I can express how much I really, really, so from the depths of my black ass soul, enjoyed that piece of art. Okay? And it's true. Like, I'm not even capping. Believe me, I'm Haitian. You know that voodoo shit I be knowing? That really is it. And I'm not even kidding you or like forcing it. I really do think that's why black people really good at that art shit. Whether we dance, ain't nobody dance like black people. Like, ain't nobody dance like black people. We literally come out with moves out of nowhere. Like, even, what's hottie little mommy's name who do that gymnastics? That little hottie little mommy. Damn, her face, Simone Biles. Like, she's not just a great gymnast. She's the best in the world. Recently, she did a gymnastic move that is fucking deadly that most don't do, and the bitch did it effortlessly. Whatever the fuck niggas do, we do a grand slam, bitch. It is literally out of this world. We do shit other people don't do. Because when we in our fucking bag, that shit is science. That shit is spiritual. When we really in our collective bag, my nigga, we literally can shift mountains. And that's on the Haitian Revolution. That's why these crackers do not want us to be unified. That's why these crackers hate us doing Pan-Africanism. That's why these crackers love us to do gender wars and Dr. Umar and all this other nigga cracker bullshit. Because it takes us away from our humanity. It takes us away from our collective engagement, our collective pursuit of liberation. But also, it pits one nigga against another nigga. That's why we got them Kenyan ops in Haiti right now. Kenya's a fucking mess, but you in Haiti? Phuket, like El Salvadorians in Haiti, and I'm like, MS-13, I know you lying. So it's like, op shit. And taking it down to op shit, how the fuck we get here in the first place? Because those two idiots went to Chicago, robbed probably a cracker with some money, probably some Al Capone, bootleggers, alcoholic, mother. You know, them niggas probably done robbed one of the motherfucking Kennedys who was out here in pro a bitch is selling liquor. And now his ass done ran back. I'm just throwing storylines together, bitch. I'm just throwing storylines together, ho. Right? Before the legitimacy, they doing criminality, RFK, or whatever the fuck your bullshit name is.
the autism, this epidemic is only happening in our children. It's not happening in people our age. And if it was better recognition, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. And I'll say this, I want to be very careful when I say it, because I've never seen a person with full-blown autism. I've seen many people with Asperger's and, on the spectrum who are my age. I've never seen anybody with full-blown autism. That means nonverbal, non-toilet trained, etc. You don't see these people walking around a mall because they don't exist in our age.
Before the status, before the legitimacy, you was out in the street being a thug, being a gangster, being a criminal. That's where your stock comes from. But when it's niggas, we can never live, bitch. We can never repent. we can never be like, I'm sorry, I was fucked up in the game. White supremacy got me by my motherfucking throat. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better. And that's on Tukey Williams. Y'all never let niggas do better. Y'all never forgive that nigga. Y'all never let a nigga live. But what got them niggas caught up in the first place? Because them slitty slicker niggas went up north, robbed a nigga, came back south, and then tried to do a deal with the devil, and the original devil is the cracker. Ain't that right, you cool? The original devil is in cracker. The cracker sold the barn under the pretext that it was a barn, but in actuality, we come to find out it's a fucking slaughterhouse, bitch. And then it wasn't just a regular racist cracker. It was the Ku Klux Klan sheriff cracker who sold him the barn. Dirty money's dirty money, and this money's dirty because it's fucking country. Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to keep that in the editing because that shit was real. The money's fucking dirty because it's fucking country's dirty, because slavery's dirty, because genocide of the Native Americans is dirty, because ecocide is dirty. All this shit is dirty. We're trying to legitimize a fucked off, illegitimate system. That's why the best we can get is motherfucking policy reforms, bitch. And all these fucking policy reforms has led us to this very fucking moment with Trump being in the presidency 2 fucking times, ho. You cannot legitimize the illegitimate.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
And we as black people should be the first ones to understand that shit. But we always the first one to do some sneak shit, some spicy shit, some spicy shit. Let's let them mulat. And I'm really talking about them Haitian Revolution. I'm really talking about them mulats. The mulats who are treacherous then, and the mulats who are in Haiti right now, who are millionaires and billionaires, making international deals off of the death, off of the dark-skinned, poor Haitians. The mulats were treacherous then, and they treacherous. Can I put it on the table? Can I put it on the floor? Is it all of them? Of course not. That would be racist. But is there enough of them? Yeah. Yeah. And we gotta literally, I was thinking about this before I even saw Sinners, reflecting on the Doja Cats and the Drakes. Why is it when it comes to these tragic mulattoes, identity crisis mulattoes, they always got that sniper for black folk? And they're not even raised with black folk. Drake raised in Canada with his cracker ass Jewish ass mammy. Doja Cat raised in Calabasas, some upper echelon, upper class, white, Jewish California neighborhood. Surrounded by cracker galore. But they come out and they mad anti-black. And I'm just like, you're not even black enough to even have this much disdain for niggas. I don't even understand. You don't have enough lived experience with niggas for you to have this angst, but here you are, hating niggas. It's as if you got that cracker in you. Because you got that crack. Ooh.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
But I can't say that because that's racist. Okay, loser. Okay. Them niggas thought that they could get rich, or at least be on equal footing with these crackers on that bullshit financial literacy. If I got 2 pennies, bitch, I still got 2 pennies. I can't budget nothing with 2 pennies, ho. With all that cotton picking, what is the material conditions for black people today? When we saw on the film when they were in the city and they was in the main town corner, and that's when one of the brothers shot the niggas who was trying to hustle and steal from the back. And that nigga who did the deal, that nigga, if he lived, he would have definitely been a bishop nigga. Like Bishop Tupac from Juice, he definitely would have. Because the way that he's able to mentally, I mean, it is a gift and a curse, I guess you could say, on some Gemini shit. Definitely on some air sign shit. The way that he's able to manipulate and finesse to get the outcome that he wants without being forceful. Like, yeah, the nigga busts his gun, but like he's also able to manipulate. Granted, it was a little ass girl, but the way that he's able to sway and impress people to get his way without it having to be violent or forceful is an art. And that nigga, chef's kiss, masters it. Again, that's why he could be a really good psychopath, because he's able to do that shit effortlessly. And he's really good with shooting effortlessly. But my point is saying that is that in that scene, you saw that niggas was not only stealing, but like, what is that? How's that any different from modern day boosting? How's that any different from niggas selling Lucy's? And we know what happened to Eric Gardner when he was selling Lucy's. How's that any different from niggas selling dope on the block? Or niggas selling dope on Snapchat? I ain't snitching, I'm just saying. Like, how is that any different than precariousness of today? And it really showed me, like, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Like, back then, Black folks of esteem, of wealth, of education, of degree, of brothership, of fraternity, they were already pipelined. Whether it was a cracker behind them giving them positions, or they were already aligned because the cracker that gave them position is also called mommy. It's also called daddy. They had the skin complexion for protection, the complexion to pass, but the majority of Black folks couldn't. And those times, Black folks was very much doing the same work that they were doing in the house for free under the whip, just this time in the house for pennies on the dollar. And still being whipped and still being sexually violated. Like, nothing really changed. No type of security, no type of precarious, like, no type of PTO, just nothing. Fast forward today, Black people are in the most precarious fucking jobs. Whether it's like the customer service sector, whether it's CNAs, whether it's literal low wage, entry level, what folks call dead end jobs. Those are the ones without the PTO. Those are the ones without the benefits. Those are the ones that there is no guarantee that you will get a pay bump and increase. Those are the ones that oftentimes the managers, the bosses, the supervisors take advantage, violate their workers' rights. A lot of times the workers don't even know they have rights. Like, how is that any fucking precariousness different from then to now? And you really see that shit in the South. Like, I'm not saying niggas is not stressing up north, but you really see that shit in the South. Like, I went to Louisiana like maybe 2 years ago. And I'm not even going to hold you. No cap. I felt like the spirit of our ancestors. Like, walking the streets. I felt their energy still amongst them. And not just the voodoo and like the tourism. It's Louisiana. But I felt like they were still walking the streets. Like, wandering around. Like, not necessarily aimless, but kind of stuck in time. Kind of like the crackers in the film. But they weren't zombies, they weren't vampires. They were just there. And like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, on Decatur, where they have like Cafe du Monde, I don't know how true this is, but I envision like a whipping post. Like, I envision like that restaurant, but like the servers were Black, which at the time when I was there, they were still Black, but it was more dehumanizing. Like, you can tell that they were enslaved. Like, they were barely clothed. Like, maybe they had something that covered their privates. They were in chains, like around the neck. Like, you could tell that these were the way that you tie up your dogs, essentially, but servers. And I just remembered, like, there was a whooping post. Like, that was a form of entertainment. Like, we're here to be served, or we're also here to see the denigration of Blackness. And that's how we come together. That's how we celebrate. That's how we define our culture, by our oppression and our cruelty, and the way that we're able to blend it so effortlessly with society. Like, we're here eating our beignets and just taking the cool breeze as we listen to niggas being whipped and niggas screeching at the top of their lungs and being told and we're just fanning ourselves. Because isn't it nice to be in such a southern land? It's that type of like madness. And I felt that. And I don't even know how real that shit is. But I felt that. And Even my black folks, that 725, I saw that. The way my black folks are stressed the fuck out, the way my black folks are out of shape, the way my black folks are smoking their lives away on that Marlboro. Like, I saw that. I saw a homeless black person, and I'm up north. I see homeless black people, I wouldn't say all the time, but it's not uncommon. I have to be honest. And again, your ancestors built this country, literally picked this country into fruition. And black Americans are homeless? Like, the math's not mathing in the way of, like, again, taking it back to the film. Niggas thought that they could legitimize not only the money that they stole, but what the money represents. And I remember when Ruby Bosom said to her nigga, you can't give me that money because that money is dirty. That money is covered in blood. And that nigga said all that money is covered in blood. She said she don't want that shit. And I didn't even know, plot twist, back then niggas had different kind of money. I didn't even know that. There was a Negro money versus the standard crack money. And it's just like, as jarring as that is, that really shouldn't surprise me. Because, like, you know how incels and, like, these, like, Andrew Tate motherfuckers define their masculinity, the red pill, black pill motherfuckers, they define their masculinity based off of not being women. So, like, I'm a man because I'm not a woman, I'm not a bitch, I'm not submissive. And that's how they define their masculinity, very toxic. White folks, especially racist white folks, define their whiteness as not being African. So why would I be surprised the money that is money would be different for the quote unquote races? Because crackers are fucking crackers. Of course they would think that shit. But mommy said herself, I can't take that money because that money's dirty. Fast forward today, we've been chasing. And I'm going to say we as a collective, we as black folk, but really black Americans, because I got to show respect. I'm in the room. But I don't got the mic. I will say that. We've been chasing our slice of the pie for the longest, my nigga. And when I say we, I really do mean black people. Because, like, I don't know if you knew that, but, like, a lot of black immigrants and children of black immigrants, Africans, Caribbean, and so on and so forth, because those Pacific Islanders, they also black too. They might be light skinned, but they also black too. And they will tell you if they ain't got that cracker in them, like Tam and Yang.
Majority of our Pacific is black, and when we say we're proud to be Pacific, it's proud to be black. And if you don't know your history, go look at a photo of the old Hawaiians, look at the photos of the old Samoans, look at the photos of the old Maori, they're black.
No.
If they ain't got that cracker in them. But anywho, remember Tam was trying to bust through the door and try to get everybody got, bitch? And then at the end, I guess, it always be the nons who's always ready to flip, because at the end of the day, their lids just as flimsy because they know they're a hierarchy, and even if they're at the bottom, they're not on the basement level because they're not African, and they can always switch sides because they're not African. If they know nothing else about the system is that they're not African. The current way the system is structured will always be like a bouncing beam, like a trampoline. People will always use us, whether it's our death or oppression, our hardships, or even our culture when they do the wigger thing. They will use us as something to bounce into their stability, their legitimacy, their whatever. Because they know black people are literally the bottom level of exploitation, but also innovation. That's why they jock us. From Aquafina to Bam Bam fighting with a bad Barbie.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
They mock us but want to be us because we're literally the life force that they extract. And I think there's something really, really real when Ruby was like, you know, the true liberation is freedom. And I'm not saying black people need to do some Jonestown type shit. That's not what I'm saying. But I've thought about it, and I would like to think about it, and I would like to have this conversation with black folk who know what the fuck they're talking about, especially those who study epistemology. I'll put the word in when I'm editing.
Epistemology.
But the point is the origins of like theories and concepts of cultures. Like, how did this shit form? Like, when the crackers talk about ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and how America came to be, like, there's an origin point. Though it's not precise and linear, because these crackers be lying and these crackers be stealing. But the mythos for them. But for us as Black folks, I would like us to explore the idea of what if liberation isn't trying to play the cracker game? Like, I sometimes think, what if the first ships of enslaved Africans did a sure pack and they all sure shined themselves? Even if they did sure shine themselves on the boat, once they got here, they was like, all right, we on Plymouth Rock, these crackers are going to be even worse. We going to 86 ourselves. Would colonialism have not lasted that long? Like, if there's no niggas to exploit, then what the fuck is you going to do? And I really don't have more to say on that. But yeah. I think, honestly, not just for Tam and Yang, and the Native Americans were there for like 2 seconds. But the Native Americans, they be known because they on this land, bitch. They on this land. Even when these crackers try to kill them, extract them, genocide them, not only is they living on and off the reservation, but they're literally embedded in this land. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. They are this land. This land is your land. This land is my land. No, this is their land down to their fucking DNA. The reason why they could warn is because they know they are the trees, they are the air, they are the water, they are the soil, literally and figuratively. And whenever niggas try to do that, oh, we're gonna financial literacy our way in, we're gonna Black economics our way in. They build you up to knock you down, Diddy. They build you up to knock you down, all them other niggas. You cannot play a dirty game, especially a game that was literally built off of your exploitation, built off of you being down bad. You cannot switch sides with anybody when you're literally the bottom level. The best thing you could do is play ops to yourself, Jay-Z. How many times are you going to rob the hood? How many times are you going to scam the hood? How many times are you going to play in Black people's face talk about you own title when you a 1% owner, nigga? Selling Brooklyn for the Barclays Center. Like, how many times are you going to sell out niggas? Because that's the only way that you're going to get a lick. Remember that pastor who said he going to lock the door until you put something in his motherfucking plate? Because that's really what that is in the system.
I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sowed and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm going to have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20.
That's really what that is. Down to the music industry. And I think little nigga getting the guitar and playing it and attracting those crackers and opening doors to the devil, I think that's really what that metaphor is saying, is that Black people, just by virtue of existence, is like walking gold. In the sense of like, these crackers exploited us down to our literal DNA. And I'm referencing Henrietta Lacks, that these crackers literally stole her DNA, made medical discoveries in the billions with a fucking B, bitch. And didn't give none of the credit, none of the money, none of the healthcare provisions to her, near her family. That's what I'm talking about, bitch. Just like the Native Americans. Down to your favorite George Washington president, who extracted the healthy teeth of enslaved Africans and used it as some fucked up sci-fi, weird American Horror Story fake teeth. He stole them niggas teeth to put it in his mouth because he was that cracker wayward. And because he could. As evil and cruel and demented as that is, he could. Well, was he gonna say no? And he's just property. He's not human. He's a thing. He's not even a he. It is literally African number one, or nigger number one, or colored number one, or boy number one, because you are a thing. So what was he gonna say? No? Only humans get to say no. So I think that depiction of the bar and them crackers being attracted to the club was to show that it don't matter what a nigga do. It's by virtue of being black that activates these crackers. Because it's not us, it's them. Whether we play fair, where, yeah, them niggas robbed some cracker in Chicago to buy the barn, but he played fair. He bought the barn with real ass money, cracker money, not even nigga money, cracker money. That sweet old greenback with the plantation owners on the front and the back. And they still said, lynch him. Because you cannot legitimize an illegitimate system. So when Shorty was like, you know, when she was doing her hoodoo voodoo ceremony, I respected that. She was like, you know, if them crackers come and get me, kill me, because in that death I'll be free and there's someone waiting for me. And I knew she saw it. I knew that bitch saw it. As a bitch who do tarot, I be seeing things. But the thing about it though, when you are a true seer, when you are a true prophet of sorts, just like Raven, you can see into the future, but you don't know in what order they come. For example, I saw Trump being president for the second time, but I saw it during the 2020 election. So at that time, when it's Trump versus Biden part 1, I was like, I really want to say Trump is not going to win, but he's going to win. I knew that shit. And when he didn't win, I was slightly relieved, but I also was like, bitch, that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw at all. But I had to let this shit slide. What I'm going to do? Argue with the U.S. government? So I said, okay, cool. Fast forward, Trump part 2, I was like, oh no, sweetheart, y'all are not that stupid. I know y'all stupid, but you're not that stupid. I know you hate niggas, but you're not. I know. I said all of the things. But the closer it got to election 2024, I was like, damn, oh God, I got to make peace with this. Bitch, I got to prepare because, like, this cracker feeling to win again. This cracker feeling to win again. This cracker feeling to win again. And then when I started seeing the telltale signs that I saw back in 2020, I was like, it's not just that he's going to be horrible, but I literally saw, like, women losing their rights, women being harassed in the streets. Like, not to be on that Christian bullshit of apocalypse, Armageddon, like, what is that called? Armageddon, or not Armageddon, but what's the other one? Lot and his daughters and Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, not to be that dramatic, but I literally saw, like, shit like planes falling. I literally saw women being assaulted in the streets. I literally saw, like, chaos brewing. And I was just like, I really hope it doesn't get that bad. But I didn't see it. It was more 2020, just mudslinging. It was just mudslinging for the most part. And look at what Trump's doing. Look at what Trump's doing. And also Biden, and we're regular, and we're normal, and we're the adults in the room, and all that liberal nonsense. So I was like, I see these things, but the current reality isn't matching it, but I felt like it will increase. Fast forward to 2024, now 2025. Exactly what I saw is happening, but I'm not that nervous about it because back then, I was not prepared. It was now it's not that I'm prepared, but I'm a better, especially financially, off to not necessarily not be harmed or affected, but better able to navigate, better able to connect, better able to build community and solidarity versus back then. So I say all this to say is that what if true liberation is death? And how do we as Africans contend with that? Because also, as a Haitian, I remember reading how enslaved Haitians, and let me put into context, just like Black Americans put sinners into context, let me put it into context. Chattel slavery in the Caribbean was bad, just like chattel slavery anywhere, including America, North America, between Mexico and Canada, was also bad. But where in Sinners you could see that the main characters were children, if not direct descendants from the plantation, like they were born on the plantation and then maybe emancipation happened and then left the plantation, so maybe they spent their whole lives on it, but like maybe their early parts of their lives, or maybe they were born right after enslavement, but they were able to live. That's the point. Chattel slavery in Haiti was so bad that by 23, the average Haitian man was worked to death. These are numbers we don't hear unless we're talking about modern time, war, or gang violence. So we're talking about a context that was so hostile, so violent, so anti-Black, that Black men were dying at the rate that today only occurs during war and gang violence. That's the context and that's the backdrop, which is why you can kind of understand the Haitian Revolution. So Haitians, who at the time when they were on the plantations, they didn't have time to even come up with a concept of what is Haitian and all of the things, because you're immediately put to work in the sugar canes, worked to death, tortured to death, brutality. It was a horrible system, especially in the Caribbean. And ironically, Haiti, Dominican Republic and Haiti, so Hispaniola, one island, honestly, two different mentalities, and one is a fucking cracker bastard, the Dominican Republic, was the most prosperous island. Out of all the islands, Haiti was making boom cool money for these crackers by working African men to death. So there wasn't a real chance to really build this family structure and build this estapology and all of the things that make humans human. Because again, they were not human, they were things, extractions. But one concept that Africans did have, because some of them still came with their culture, whether it's their language, whether it's their practices, whether it's their customs, whether it's their religions, including Voodoo, a lot of the Africans had the belief that when you died, that your soul was free and your soul went to heaven. And heaven wasn't that cracker plantation shit that them fucking crackers put in that fucking Bible. It was literally the depiction of sinners, where you are rekindled with your family and your family is waiting for you, that your spirit is freed. And I think to myself, what if that really is freedom? Because these ADOS, FBA, freak, anti-Black, xenophobics, fuck faces be saying shit like tether. But I think the more that we try to align ourselves with the American mythos, try to do the whole buy into capitalism, buy into the American dream, assimilate, establish ourselves in the illegitimate, it's not only that we're spitting in the faces of our ancestors, cutting our nose to spite our face, but we are weathering ourselves. We are playing a losing game. We are racing with cement shoes in quicksand, and everybody knows it except us. And we should be the most wisest to it because we were the first commodities. We were the first product. We were the first service. We were the first currency. And yet we are the first ones to legitimize the illegitimate, which is the system. whether it's excusing it, whether it's Mulat Obama being the face of it, whether it's LeBron James of it, the more that we legitimize the system, the more that we spit in the faces of our ancestors who literally died trying to liberate themselves. And our ancestors did everything. Like, I'm so tired of y'all niggas talking out your ass because you dumb niggas can't read. Our ancestors literally did everything. They did the black business. They did the assimilation. They did speak the king and queen English. They did everything. And still, they received the oppression, the anti-Blackness, and oftentimes the murder, the violence. No different than black people today. Whether we're talking about police brutality, whether we're talking about being funneled into the prison system, whether we're talking about the devastation of poverty and homelessness, like, we are no better off today as a collective. Now, folks could be like, well, we have indoor plumbing and we have rights. Okay, niggas, but how is the quality of your life? If you spend the next 60 years of your life stressing, bitch, you alive, but is you really? Just like in the film Sinners that they depicted, when them vampires ate them niggas was alive, but they wasn't alive because it was zombies. Just like, if you know Haitians and you know the story about zombies, you know how that should be. And it really does work like that. That was the zombie process. You here, but you not here. They really steal your soul. Your body here, but that's not your soul. Your soul is trapped within you. It's kind of like, if we're going to get into it, it's kind of like Get Out. When you hit that teacup and you stuck in the dark place, you stuck in the silent place. You stuck in the deep under, the subconscious, the former African, the assimilated African, the lobotomized African, the menticide African, the Sammy Sosa skin bleaching African, the Kanye fucking his cousin and fucking the Kardashians, fucked up in the fucked up head, trying to chase the accolades, chase the benchmarks, chase the idea. And it only leaves us being demolished at the end. I also want to mention, which I didn't see anybody else mention. So if I hear anybody make this point, I know you literally jocked me. Okay? I noticed that when the black men in particular were bitten by the vampires, they became misogynistic. Now, I will tell you in detail what I deem as misogynistic and how that ties into the systematic oppression and how the system is set up to have someone at the bottom. So, remember the scene where sharecropper, the sharecropper figure, Cornbread, right? Remember when he was outside and he got bitten, he got his ass chewed the fuck up, like some prime rib bitch. He got chewed the fuck up. Oink oink in this bitch. Okay, slaughterhouse in this bitch. He got his ass up. So he was trying to come back into the house because they didn't know that, but he was asking permission, and that's the point of the whole, like, once you get got by the vampires, you look quote unquote normal, but you behave differently. You behave, like, truthfully, you behave like a neoliberal. You start saying like weird shit like, we should all come together and we should all be united. And you start saying weird shit. You start acting like a crackhead, essentially. So Cornbread, who was already in the house, in the party, already familiar with Pop Smoke, Pope Smoke, whatever these niggas say. You know, fill in the blank, okay? They're already familiar. So why would he have to ask permission to come back into the juke joint if you were already there? Everybody already knows you. You stepped out to take a piss and now you come back in. Like, what are we doing this for? What are we doing this charades, this respectability politics? Like, what are we doing this for? So he outside talking about, can I come in? And everybody's looking at him like, you look familiar, but you acting funny. And people are looking at him like, if you know us, which you do because we're homies, then why are you asking permission? You were just in the house. And then he was like, well, that's not courtesy. And, you know, we as people. And they were looking at him like, you're really starting to like creep us out. Like, you're acting really weird right now. And he asked the brother who didn't get got by the vampire, by the mulat, he asked, yo, give me permission, allow me to come in on some Three Little Pigs, bitch. And I huff and I puff and I knock your whole house down with the vampires, bitch. You really get ate up. It's a black barbecue. Okay, no sauce. Unless we talk about that. But the fact that he had to ask for permission, it was just creeping everybody out. And it was Big Buzzin' Ruby who was like, nigga, why are you even asking us permission? You're familiar. We are friends. Like, what are you doing this for? And he was trying to get the non-vampire brother to pull his arm out, to pull him in, and then get his ass got. And then when Ruby was like, you're creeping us out. You're doing too much. This is too weird for us. He was trying to downplay Ruby's concern about him acting weird with nobody's talking to you. I was just talking to the men, blah, 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 like step aside. He was trying to make it seem like Ruby was just some herb. Ruby was some bitch off the street. Like Ruby was just an insignificant, like B-roll background actor. And she looked at him and was like, if you don't get your big ass up in this house, and then Dumb and Dumber, the one who made it alive, he pulled his arm in, and as soon as he pulled his arm in, that motherfucker tried to chew it off. And then that's when they pulled him back and slammed the door on the big motherfucker so he didn't get got. I think that scene in particular, and I think there's other moments that I can point out, but that scene in particular, if you rewind the camera and go back to the scene, okay, I think that is saying that complicitness in the system is not just force. It's not just the violence that we see throughout the movie, but it's also the implicit bias. It's also the social hierarchy, the things that we accept as quote unquote normal. Like, you're a woman, of course you want to cook, of course you want to clean, of course you want to breathe, of course you want the male gaze, because you have titties. So by virtue of having titties, your whole life revolves around the male gaze. Until like lesbians and all the others in the queer umbrella say, no. But until then, y'all are like, no, that's just natural. That's just science. That's just divine. That's just godly. That's just Christian. That's just the way things are. So I think in that particular scene, it was saying, if smoke, pop, smoke, stacks, whichever, if he would have sidestepped Ruby and vibed with Cornbread on some, well, that's my homie, that's the bro, that's, you know, my ace boom coon, like on that bro code shit, on that alpha male shit, on that incel shit, on that like homies over hoe shit, if on that homo Sicily, because that's what it's called, homo Sicily, okay? If he would have bought into that, it would have killed him. No different than your raggedy ass sons today dying of patriarchy, dying of the crisis of loneliness, dying of red pill logic. Because you refuse to see women as human beings and equal and deserving of autonomy, you rather fight to suppress women with y'all voting for Trump for the third time, you white hoes, instead of saying it's the system of oppression. Like, if all women were to marry all men and partner up and all of these things, y'all would still be broke. You would still be poor. You would still be losing your hair. You would still be widening your waistband. Like, you would still be pathetic. You would still be a loser.
Boo! You stink!
Having pussy being tied to you would not change the fact that you're still a loser. Like, that's just what that is. Like, that's just true facts. No printer. But saying all of that is to say is that a lot of y'all need to listen to black women. That's just what that is. You need to listen to black women, but not only listen to black women, but look at the way we implicitly accept things as normal. We implicitly believe things to be as such. In the ways of like, oh, Cornbread's my homie. I knew him for a long time. You know, I brought him into the scheme of having the juke joint. Like, if he would have bought into, man, that's just Ruby. Like, what does she know? Like, that's just my brother or my whichever wife. Like, what does she know? He could have gotten his ass chewed out because it was Cornbread who asked for old boy to let him in. Yes, he asked everybody at the door to let him in, but when he held his hand out, Who was he holding his hand out for? Boom. Mano y mano. Peep that. Peep that the subtle ways of patriarchy getting your ass got. From y'all not having the wages, the protections, the PTO times that your granddaddy used to have in the factory, to y'all inheriting black lungs with no health care, to y'all being turned out and broken by the system of capitalism. But y'all's best and brightest idea is banning women from abortion care, health care.
Boo! You stink!
Denying women opportunities by repelling DEI, which benefited mostly white women, but women in general. Like, the best your sons can come up with is more misogyny, more sexism, is as if that's what's not allowing them to live a decent existence, a material condition that actually is worthwhile. As if they subjugated all women somehow, some way, that would stop the male suicide rate. Like, this is the logic of patriarchy. But y'all don't care because it's dicks up, right? And that's why you almost got your ass got. Listen to Black Woman. That's law.
That's law. That's law. Hush your mouth sometime and let
her
teach you. That's law.
Alopecia with the missing edges, whether it's the diabetes, whether it's the hypertension, whether it's even you seen in the film. He was my favorite, not gonna hold you. Mr. Jazz, we're gonna call him Mr. Jazz. Mr. Jazz is an alcoholic. A lot of y'all know alcoholics. A lot of y'all are alcoholics your damn selves. Or you know somebody who's an alcoholic. Hell, my pappy is an alcoholic. A functional one at that. Whatever the fuck that means. How can you be functional when a vice runs you? When something that has no pulse can run you, you can't call that functional for shit, my nigga. How many of us are just coping to get by? Living like the zombies, the Walking Dead. Truly. We here, but we really not. We free, but we really not. We got rights, but we really not. And it's just like, all of this for what? Just because we are alive does not mean that we are living. And I think that that's a real political, sociological, economical question, or something that we need to think, have a thought exercise on. Electricity in our brains, that we are alive, but we are not living. And what does that mean? It's like them crackers said, okay, we're not going to work you to death in the plantation. To survive, and survive means that you pay bills and then you pay your rent every 30 days, reoccurring. You got to work 3 jobs and they're all minimum wage. And you got to wait on tips. And that's the best that we got for you. We acknowledge you built this country. If it wasn't for you, blah, blah, blah. But the best that we could do for you is 3 minimum wage jobs to pay 1 fucking rent. And your ancestors built the country. And you still gotta pay fucking rent. But you know what? At least you get to drape yourself in that red, white, and blue and talk about how your ancestors built this country and how you is so proud to call yourself as an American. And that's it, that's all. That's ill, and that's fucking all. How many of your ancestors, the last thing they saw while their body was being strung up on that pole and their breath was escaping their fucking lips, that they saw that flag that you wrap your motherfucking heads with, legitimizing the illegitimate? And I think about that. I think about that often. What if liberation does look like death? And what does that mean? How do we contend with that? Because even Ruby had to prepare, oh boy, we're going to call it twin. Ruby had to prepare twin Because I be making niggas names up because you know my autistic ass gotta watch this shit like a couple of times for me to really even understand what the fuck they talking about, A. And B, to understand the motherfucking names. You know I'm not good with names. I gotta hear that shit a couple of times for that shit even to resonate. Okay? I think one is called Smoke and I think the other one's called Lucky. I don't know which is which. But whoever was fucking on Ruby with no rubber, she had to prepare him for her death because she knew he wasn't ready for it. And she also made peace with it. She made peace with it. And like the black woman she was, the big bosom black woman that she is, she gave him enough to keep him going, but also held enough to not break him down. It's not really about him because like fuck that nigga. But it shows her real strength. And I know as black women we hate hearing that shit because it like steals our humanity. But ain't no bitch do it like us. Ain't no bitch do it like us. We are a brick house because A, body is T. But B, no, none of these whores can touch us when it comes to our strength. Our physical strength, our moral strength, our empathetic strength, our human strength. These whores are in the fucking cellar. Not even the basement, bitch, the cellar. These whores can't touch us. And that is strength. That is God. That is holy. That's the EG. That is everything and then some. After all, more than words. So I don't want us to discard that. Because they also reminded me, taking about the Haitian history, that I know a lot of us may know who Toussaint Louverture is. And many of us may not know who Dessalines is. And I know there's only like 2 niggas in the back who know who Mama Toya is. And without Mama Toya, for a funny fact, there wouldn't be a Dessalines. And without a Dessalines, who the fuck is a Toussaint? Black women have always been the original. The potomiton, which means like the pole in the middle that keeps everything together. Think about it like an umbrella. Black women have always been the seed, the kernel, the germination. Down to if there were no black women, there would be no chattel slavery because you need the black woman and her body to create more enslaved Africans. That's why your favorite president, because you had him 2 times, took away your reproductive rights. And not you as black women, but you as in womankind in America. Because A, he's a fascist pig who's also a rapist, sexist, misogynist, all the things, all the icky things. And also brought back Andrew Tate, who's a human trafficker, but what do you expect from a rapist? Who put his dead wife buried into his golf course so he can get some type of tax credit or some tax benefit, and he raped his ex-wife and hates her and publicly announces how much he despises her and feels nothing about burying her human body underneath his fucking plastic golf course. That orange bastard is more than a devil. But y'all hoes hired him twice, even when you heard him on camera talk about how much he loves to sexually violate women.
And I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married.
Huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy. Yeah. No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where there's some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch. But I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I got to use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
Pull the hand.
That's why you whores could never be my sisters. You whores could be anything and everything, but my comrade, my sister, my ally, my confidant, y'all whores will die in the lake of fire before I ever consider you whores anything other than treacherous. Put a pin in that. So, I really admire Ruby for her strength because it reminded me of Mama Toya, because she, a real life black woman who really actually existed, not only raised Dessalines as her son because they weren't related biologically, but she knew him because she raised him, because when she got on the plantation, he got on the plantation too. And when you're in such precarious situation, it is the village who sweeps in to raise said kid. And Toya did that. But it wasn't just suck on my bosom, we just gonna survive this thing. It was, no, I am a warrior woman. So I'm going to teach you about fighting. I'm going to teach you about defense. But also, because I'm a lady, I'm going to teach you about caring, nurturing, healing. So here are the herbs to protect yourself. These are the herbs you take to heal yourself. These are herbs that you take to strengthen yourself. Because she knew, and she passed down that knowledge onto him. So that made me remember that point in real life Haitian history. So fast forward, because the scene when midnight striked is intense, and I don't want to talk too much of it, because I do think, if nothing else, I need y'all to see those particular scenes. And I did give enough for y'all to be intrigued, but not too much where too much is exposed. Remember when Lil Junior got his first taste of meow? But all in all, let me talk about this one part before I wrap it up, because it's over an hour and I don't want to be too long, because you know I'm a motor mouth. You know I let it talk. The scene, oof.
Why the fuck you lick the lips, nigga? You supposed to lick the pearl. Why the fuck would I beef with a bitch who hair don't hold a curl? Why the fuck would I cry over spilled milk when I got the best cookie in the world? Yeah, I'ma spin the block, no cue. Pussy bald, no pubes. He think I'm a sweet girl, he ain't got no clue. I put blush on my nose, he think that is so cute. Hood nigga sending memes, he like that is so you. Hey, my hoe just sent a back signal, I'm on the way. Duty calls. I don't ever text him back, but he pick up the booty calls. We not watching Scream, but they can hear me screaming through the wall. Super slick, suck me out my socks and suck me through the drawers. The head crazy, I can't even remember what the movie called. We gon' make our own movie, I'ma call the movie Jaws.
Okay. I don't have it for Michael B. Jordan. And again, it's not even that I don't think he's attractive, because he is attractive. I can see why the bitches like him. He's not an ugly nigga. He just doesn't do it for me. But like, when if a bitch was like, oh, he's ugly, I'd be like, you capping. That nigga not ugly. But again, he don't do it for me. Like, but when I saw him, when I saw that nigga show up and bum rush and booby trap them crackers,
keep me on my toes, get a tingle in my spine. Wet spot, only he knows he's a hot boy.
when I saw him booby trap them crackers at the end. I felt restorative justice. I felt the scales were balancing. And, bitch, I peep game. The storyline sets in October, ho. And October is what, Libra? Justice, the scales. Bitch, I peeped. Bitch, I peeped. Bitch, I peeped. Bitch, I peeped. When Smoke Lucky Smoke, whichever, set it off on them crackers like Cleo. I swear to God, that thing tangled a little bit. I said, that's the fuck you need to do. I swear to God, every time something real fucked up happens and niggas be on they we shall overcome, I swear to God, I want to do you like Lucky Smoke did them brothers. Cause it's like, I get it, niggas. We empathetic. I get it, niggas. We care when other races of people don't care. We care when other people have exhausted their realm of care. They don't even have to live in this black body under siege all the motherfucking time. But just being in proximity to us, just, oh, they're exhausted. Oh, I don't want woke. Oh my God, I gotta care about niggas. Right?
Hep hep. No. Hep hep. No. Hep hep. No. Hep hep.
Boo! You stink!
But niggas is always the first one to be like, and we should hold hands, and we should forgive. And none of that saved affirmative actions, niggas. All that cooning, all that complacency, all of that It still didn't save not a goddamn thing, ho. Ain't even cleared out no goddamn student loans. Been marching ever since Selma, bitch. Yearly, annually, like a ritual, ho. And we still losing motherfucking rights, bitch. You can't make this shit up.
Yeah, but I get my lick back.
But when my little baby got that flicky flicky, made that thing flicky flicky, I was like, I know my black ass God. Plural. It's much. And I know the ancestors is shooting down on you like Whitney did Aretha, and Aretha shooting back up at her. Like you shooting on them crackers. I knew it was a tag team effort when I saw that shit, because I was like, so all the niggas is dead and the crackers just skip to the room, my darling? I know you hoes lying.
When you don't stand up for yourself, your ancestors literally think you're a coward. They literally think you a hoe. Because it's like in their minds, because they're alive, like they don't have a human body, but their soul, their essence is still here. So they like, bitch, I like remember the scene where Smoke Lucky, whichever was the vampire, was like, I can read on the nigga's thoughts because he wasn't alive. So like the limitations in humanity doesn't exist on the spiritual realm. So like they can remember what they've lived through and they can see you in real time and space and they see you being a hoe. They see you being a treacherous. They see you fucking on these non-blacks and playing race play, Kanye and Shannon. Like they see that shit and they think you a hoe. They think you a coward because it's like, I done survived alligator bait. I done survived crackers whipping and raping me. Like I done survived experimentation. Like if you only knew what your ancestors have been through, they literally like a walking dead, chopped up in everything. And for them to see you capitulate for a white hoe, or see you capitulate for $1, or see you capitulate, not even like a gun to the face, but like you lack morals. You are skullduggery. Like you have no backbone. Like you're a coward. Like they think you's a hoe. And like when you do shit like that, it makes them not necessarily regret what they did and what they had to overcome, but it's like all of that for you, like the work, like it's not worth the squeeze essentially. Like I did all of this shit just for you to be this. Fatwa. Like I think that's what they really think when they see you do that shit. So like you should stop doing that shit and get on that Pan Africanism. Because I'm really trying to get Haiti linked up with Ibrahim Traore because the way that man got that discipline on him, I need Haiti to get that motherfucking discipline on him. And you're making motherfucking Anakayona and Leovan embarrassed by the whole shit you be on. Because you're trying to do that black capital, you're trying to legitimize a system that's illegitimate. And Ayakonona has to look at you niggas each and every day seeing the whole shit that you is. The whole shit that you, the treachery that you, the betrayal that you doing. The lusting after these crackers that you doing. And they spit on that. Like that cracker spit in that barnyard with that tobacco, they spit on that. I just want to put that on your chest, put that on your heart. That was a direct message. Divine calling. I was tapped in. I sent the message I picked up. I'm just transcribing, translating, hope. Synergize and divine download. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, hope? Gotta go. Bye.
Cause the one thing, if you're gonna do trauma porn, if you're gonna do Black Death, my nigga, you gotta make it humane. It gotta make sense, and we gotta get our lick back. I'm not about to be watching no fucking 2 hours of motherfucking Roots remix. How the fuck you think I'm supposed to digest that shit and then go back to work? I work with crack. Like, what do you mean? Don't do that shit. Y'all think that you're giving us like the real hardcore truths. You know, this is sober analysis. No, don't do that. We already going through too much. We already is black, poor, and under siege. And now you trying to inflict more shit? Like, damn, niggas. Damn. But y'all did good. Y'all did good with that ending. Light it the fuck up. It's a slaughterhouse indeed, my nigga. It's a slaughterhouse indeed. No, Joe Budden, bitch. Mwah. Did it. Ew. So, all in all, I loved it. I love me a narration, bitch. I love me a good storytelling. That's why Megan is my favorite little hottie little mommy. That's why I really enjoyed One of Them Days. I love me a motherfucking adventure, bitch. I love me a good get back, bitch. I love me a good script, bitch. Take me on an adventure. Tell me some things I didn't know. Take me to places that I ain't never gone. Like, do something for me. Shake makes you shake. And they did that. And if niggas are gonna go through some hardships, please. Please, at least let a nigga survive. God damn. If we're gonna be tethered, if we're gonna go through all of this trauma drama, at least let us be tethered to hope, God damn it. Because if our ancestors had nothing else, bitch, they had hope. That's why they continued to have children, knowing what the future was holding for them, but also continued fighting, even if that meant leaving the plantation. Because they knew that there was more life to live than fucking picking cotton and cutting sugarcane for fucking crackers. And that is my closing. So thank you for those who's going to end up stumbling upon this video and watching and listening and commenting and all that jazz. Let me know if you really enjoyed Sinners. Did you watch it? Are you thinking of watching it? I have to say, the vampire, not really thriller, because it's blood, but it's not a lot of guts, and it makes sense. Like, me as a girly, like, I did watch American Horror Story, right? And me as a girly, I really, really, really do enjoy Tales of a Crypt, bitch. I love me a motherfucking moral of the story hoe. I love me a good motherfucking narration, silver lining, and bitch, if they ever bring back Tales from the Crypt and they don't hire my ass, me and the Mumbles are gonna go fucking do a ceremony to make sure that whole fucking network takes, bitch. But anywho, I say all this to say is that I love that shit. I love that shit. But I don't like all the blood and gory. Like, fair respect. Like, I respect the human body. I don't need to see your organs and then blood. Like, if I wanted to do that, I would sign up for the military. I'm not interested in that shit. I'm not a doctor, not a serial killer, and I'm not an army vet. Catch that tea. But for the amount of blood you do see, it makes sense and it's not overbearing. It's not extreme. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the acting. The accents could be better. I'm not gonna hold the accents could be better. I never trust the mulat. I'm not gonna hold you. It's sad that Ruby had to go, but I'm not shocked. But the way that she did, and then we saw, and then at the end we saw a rekindling of sorts, and I said, bitch. See, even the ancestors have a happy ending, bitch. Even the ancestors have a silver lining. And now you hoes want to just force feed me trauma? Force feed me Black death? That's so anti-Black of you. Like, what the fuck? But I really did appreciate that. So let me know what y'all appreciate about the film. And like, comment, and share all of those good things, because just like every other YouTuber, trying to get this traction in the algorithm, trying to build up the subscribership, trying to see what y'all are into, but also sharing what I'm into, which is politics, which is Black culture, universal Pan-African Blackness all over, because we Black 360, nigga. Okay, not just in North America. Okay. And asexuality, because I'm queer, like, duh. And women things, because, like, I'm a whole ass woman from the rooter to the tutor. And I think that's all I got. Yeah. Like, comment, and share, subscribe, and I shall see you on the next video. Peace.
Hey, so this is V. This is V post recording and during the editing phase. But I also wanted to make a little extra point about Sinners. 2 points. Not only did I remember on screen where they gave you the timeline and the date that it was not only in October this film Sinners took place, but it was October 16th. Now, the tarot bitch in me realized that October is Libra season, so we're talking about the scales, we're talking about justice, we're talking about equilateral in this whole. But we are also talking with that 16th, because the day was the 16th. The 16th in tarot is the tower moment. And Sinners is very much a tower moment. I also want to mention that this all takes place at night because when you think about secrecy, when you think about deviousness, when you think about corruption being loud and proud, it's at night. If you're taking it from a biblical point of view, we know that sins and bad behaviors and the freaks come out at night because you're able to get away with more when there isn't anybody to see you. And nothing says I can't see like pitch black darkness in the southern Dixie crack states. Okay. So like there's there. I also want to make the point that at the end, when Lucky Smoke, Lucky Pop Smoke, whatever, was fighting that cracker to the very fucking end, what did that cracker tell Pop Smoke, Pop, Lucky Smoke, Smoking Lucky? What did that cracker tell him when he saw that his days were very much short? His hours was on a motherfucking countdown. When he saw that blicky in front of his motherfucking forehead, what did he offer? Would he offer Michael B. Jordan?
You should think about it. Take a second.
Take a second. Think about it. He offered Michael B. Jordan money because that is the money laundering of this system. The morality laundering of the system, which is better dated and thought out by Two Black and Razul. And the book is called Laundering Black Rage, The Washing of Black Death, People, Property, and Profits. That scene was the example, the primary example of what I'm trying to elaborate in this section of the video. To participate in this system, you too, bitch, must participate in genocide. Where the fuck do you think your tax dollar is going to? It's sure as hell it's not going to the streets. It's sure as hell it's not going to the schools. It's sure as hell it's not going to the elderly. So where is, to those Ukraine packages to to those Israel lethal weapons to Afghanistan yeah. You don't get to participate in the system without getting your hands dirty, just like what we told that nigga. I don't want your money because your money is bloody. So when he asked Pop Smoke, Pop Lucky Smoke, Pop Lucky, he was letting him know, yeah, I'm a dirtbag. Yeah, you got me hammered up. Yeah, you got me in a corner. But this is America. We ransacked this shit. This shit is ran by criminal. This is a criminal enterprise, bitch. Rico before Rico was fucking Rico Ho. So there's no rules in this wild, wild west of colonialism. So if you want a second chance at it, and you really want to make it big, take this money and spare my fucking life. But you know that in the back of your head, if you spare this cracker, and this cracker get up, oh, he gonna lynch you up. He gonna lynch you up. Even if he doesn't repair himself and those bullets don't become healed, him and his cracker Klansman family is gonna come see you and yours, and you know that nigga. So there is no half-stepping, there is no capitulation, there is no out of this. And he knew that. And for his own humanity, for his own manhood. And though it's not going to bring back Ruby and his son and all of his family, his community that had to be got him crackers. At the very fucking least, he put that hey to let him know that I am a man. I am a human. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. I am God's favorite child. And you're going to have to eat this left. I wanted to make that point because that is the reality of Black people globally, not just Black Americans, not just the blanketed term of Blackness of everybody with a darker hue, including me in this country. This is a global experience. When Malcolm X said he traveled internationally and he realized that Black people are in same subservitude position regardless, that really shaped his politics and his worldview. I need y'all to really peep that, especially you whores, you capitalist whores, you greenback whores, you Black excellence whores. I need you to really, really sit with that scene. Because y'all think you can buy your way out of racism like Kanye. You think you can buy your way out of oppression like Beyonce. But they keep reminding you that you a fucking N-I fill in the blank. No matter how light and bright your ass is, no matter how successful your ass is, no matter how much of a trained Roman, Grecian, motherfucking Olympian god that you is, you still a fucking N-I-G fill in the blanks. So I need y'all to think about that. Y'all be thinking, oh, I got this big house, I got this money, I'm fucking on this bitch, da 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 da. That's going to sidestep your oppression. Ask Kanye that sidestep his situation. Ask Jay-Z that sidestep his situation. Ask OJ that sidestep his situation. Fuck. Ask Dubois. Dubois wasn't even an entertainment nigga. He was an intellectual. And the CIA still pressed him. MLK, a preacher's kid, just like preacher's kid in the film, still got fucking pressed and still got his noggin shattered. So keep thinking that you can capitulate, Nick does. Keep thinking that you can play the game, Nick does, and you gonna motherfucking find the fuck out. Because even when you discover a cheat code, even when you discover a loophole, the system will always figure out to expand it, exploit it, or destroy it for their own good. That's why niggas like, oh, I'm gonna have my own little black town, I have my own little black economy, I have my own black in the corner, separate, away from these crackers. And what happens? COINTELPRO. What happens? Counterinsurgents. What happens? Police state. Better yet, what happened? Black Panther parties. Plural because they had different chapters, but not plural because they're just one umbrella entity. Yeah, that's what happened. So, in relation to the conversation about in our ancestors' eyes, they thought death was the truest version of liberation compared to the actual material reality. Now, I'm not telling black people to get on the shit, but I'm not telling black people to do that. But I think we really need to contend because we just throwing shit at the wall at this point. Trying to ring around the rosy of oppression at this point, and I need us to really contend. Are we content with half-stepping, eating crumbs off this table, trying to reserve it for a full meal, capitulating, selling one of us to the other of us to the benefit of none of us?
So a mistake is made on your part when you think that white people suffer the same as black people. Or as many Jews will say, well, we're a minority too. Or the Irish will say, well, we used to be a minority. No one's a minority like we are. They didn't need civil rights legislation to solve any other minority problem. It didn't take a civil war to solve any other minority problem. It didn't take Supreme Court decisions to solve any other minority problem or legislation. It takes none of that action to solve the minority problems of these other people. The only real minority in America is the Afro-American. Now, when white people who are oppressed and poor, supposedly, but the poorest white person can go where the richest black person can't go. It isn't only poverty of in money that we're talking about. Poverty in spirit, poverty in freedom, poverty in equality, poverty in human dignity. This is the kind of poverty we're suffering from. So that the richest Negro in this country is still poor. When it comes to freedom, he's broke. When it comes to human dignity, he's broke. This is the kind of poverty we're talking about. So when you find white people who are poor, with all these doors that there are open to them, any door that you knock on, if you're qualified, it'll open. So when you find a poor white person, he's in bad shape.
Toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in hate. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.
Reference the 1994 crime bill. I saw you niggas there championing that shit off.
Sneaky bitch, I saw everything.
So, my real question is, where do we see ourselves in the now?
You should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you. And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down. It should catch on fire and burn down.
And what are we fucking planning for our destiny in the future? Because this shit right here ain't working. Just like it wasn't working during Reconstruction, just like it wasn't working during chattel slavery. This domination, this exploitation is not working for us, the exploited class. So the question becomes, what do we do about it? And not just me and mine, not just the black bourgeois, not just the black American, all of us. Because like Malcolm X done said, his mammy is from Grenada in the Caribbean. So that makes him a half-tether, according to you niggas. He realized internationally that it's not just a black American thing, it's not just a Caribbean thing. Internationally, black people are in the same fucking position. Look at South Africa. That shit blows my mind. Let me not go there. But enslaved on your own land, exploited on your own land, displaced on your own land, under siege in your own land, penile codes in your own fucking land, cracker colonialist policy in your own fucking land, homeless on your own fucking land. That shit is madness. But it's reality. And then from that abuse and that proximity to the cracker, what do you get? Did you know South Africa was the highest rape capital in the world next to India? So the moment we try to chase this cracker dream, this cracker nightmare, we gotta cut our nose to spite our face. So for me to align with the cracker state and be subjugated to its brutality and eat that shit with a grin, I gotta go back and tell these niggas who the fuck I is. I gotta go back and slap a hoe to let her know who the fuck I is. I gotta let these little knickknacks know who the fuck I is. Because if I gotta deal with these crackers, and I gotta take this humiliation, and I gotta take this check, and I gotta take it home, and I gotta do the man thing, then goddamn it, I need that release. And that release is gonna be on you.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
All I know that works in the world is a relationship.
Yes, all right.
Okay, that's all that's going to work. It takes two people to have a relationship.
Yeah, but the relationship.
If you don't have a dream, fake it.
But the relationship, you can't fake a dream.
You got to fake it because we don't have dreams these days. How the hell can you have a dream? For what?
Well, it isn't.
So everybody's jiving, but let's jive on that level.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me. And you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you'll lie to me. Because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man?
And I need us to really contend with how much of our humanity is robbed, stripped, and destroyed from us. Trying to chase the cracker trail, trying to align with the crackers, trying to even live civilly with the crackers. How much of that is day in and day out humiliation, day in and day out denigration, day in and day out oppression. And we label that shit progression. We label that shit post-civil rights. We label that shit as a melting pot. But you know what can't melt in a melting pot? Melanin. Melanin. So I just want to put that on your head top in the editing phase. Y'all let me know what you think. Bye.
Self-made, asexual, and I'm always on point like a decimal. Self-made, asexual, and I'm always on point like a decimal.
La reine te la fait moins, nèg yo son dérision moins, nan grand chemin.